Hello, friends. Welcome. Hello. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm so happy to be here this evening. Happy New Year to everyone watching at home. Welcome to 2023 and welcome to Season 3 of Sunday Night Spotlight. This is my monthly live stream in which I invite a different guest artist to join me for each episode, and we will swap songs and we'll chit chat, and it's going to be a really fun time. My guest tonight is the wonderful René Moffatt, and I'll tell you more about him in a little bit. Hi, Alan. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us this evening. Oh, Alan is on YouTube and Facebook, or maybe you switched. Hey, y'all, as you're tuning in, do me a big favor and hit one of the reaction buttons if you're viewing on Facebook. Hit the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Hit that share button, and let's get this stream in front of as many people as we can, and feed the robots. They like all the comments and the reactions and stuff. So cool. Hey, Larry, thanks for joining tonight. Happy belated birthday, Larry. Y'all, it was Larry King's birthday, I think 2 or 3 days ago. Hope it was great. All right, well, I'm going to start us off with a song, and it's one I haven't played in a while. I have a lot of those in my set tonight. I think most of them, maybe all of them, are songs I haven't played on the live stream in a really long time. So they're not new songs, but anyway, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop the disclaimers. This is called How It Feels. You threw my heart in the garbage pail without a second thought, like it was junk mail. Now I'm rummaging around, trying to salvage pieces that I found, and you don't give a damn how it feels. Now that's not right. Now I'm gluing scraps together patiently and applying firm pressure till I stop the bleed. Sometimes a stitch is all that you need. Other times it's a catastrophe, and you don't give a damn how it feels. They say that pain helps you know you're alive, and they say that darkness helps you appreciate the light. Well, I don't know where they went to school and learned to tolerate that type of cruel, but I don't need any fancy diploma to see that you're not for me. Now I'm doing fine out here on my own, and I've built my tender heart a sturdy, solid home. And you can bang and bang on the door, I'm not gonna let you in no more, 'cause you don't give a damn. No, you never gave one single damn. No, you don't give a damn how it feels. No, so I won't give a damn how this feels. All right, thanks you guys. We've had some more folks tune in. Want to say hi to my dad, who watches on YouTube, and also my mom, who watches on Facebook. They're both in the same, they might even be in the same room, I'm not sure. But they watch on different platforms, which I think is great. Because then I get like, that doubles the count. It's like I get an extra person count in my viewing numbers. Anyway, Larry says they say all sorts of things. Yes, they do. They in the song, not my parents. And I want to say hi to Randy. Aloha. Randy joins us from Hawaii. And yes. All right. Well, you guys, I have a wonderful guest here for you this evening. His name is René Moffatt. René and I met, we met for the first time in person at Rocky Mountain Song School, which for any songwriters out there, this is an incredible program put on by Planet Bluegrass, which is the organization that runs Rocky Mountain Folks Fest and the Telluride Bluegrass Festival. And so we met there. It takes place in Lyons, Colorado. And we met on the first day. And so that was great. And we sort of knew who one another was just from being Denver area songwriters. And I got to know René and his music a little bit there. And then he was very kind to have me on as a guest at his Song Swap, which is an in-person show here in Denver. And that was a lot of fun. So I'm just really pleased to have him here this evening. Everyone, please give a warm welcome to my friend René Moffatt.
Hello, everybody.
Yay! Hello.
Is it Carolyn's World? Is that what I say?
Is it? I don't know.
I think for the next hour it is.
Yeah. I get to control things for an hour.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's such a pleasure. I'm so glad you were able to do this, and thanks for taking the time.
Absolutely. Do you want to just go into a song?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. Make sure you can hear everything. Please chime in if you cannot, and I will bump things up here. Okay, this song's called Come of Age, and it goes like this. Choices make you think about scenarios. All of us can guess, but nobody knows. Closed eyes and open hearts to the woods of the sage. And I am none the wiser, but I have come of age. For all the chances that land in front of you, take as many as you can and disregard a few. Some will pass you by, but when you turn the page, they'll be far behind you and you'll have come of age. And you'll try to not decide, but time won't let you hide. Fate won't hesitate for you. So much to consider in so little time. You think you have your whole life to commit the perfect crime. Though you're free, you've been seen circling the cage. You were not a prisoner. You were not a prisoner. You were not a prisoner. You have come of age.
Yay! Beautiful. I love that song.
I appreciate it.
When did you write that?
Ooh, a long time ago.
Oh, is it an older one?
It is an older one, but it's I'll start with I think I wrote that when I either turned 30 or maybe 33, one of those pivotal ages.
Giving us some clues as to your age.
Yeah, right. But and then I liked it then, and lately, when I've played it, it hits you with like, oh, this one might be a song that I play for the rest of my life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it has a really classic feel to it musically, and the lyrics are so thoughtful and sort of sentimental and hopeful. And it's just great. It's a great song.
Yeah, thank you.
It's on your live album, right?
It is. I'm trying to think if it's on both. I think it might just be on one, but
Oh.
I have 2 live albums.
Oh, that's
one-
right. You just released it in what, 2020?
Was it 2020? It was. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, 2020. It was right after the pandemic hit. So, but yeah, it's up there. But I need to get into the studio and record it for real, because I have a video project in mind for it that I want to get started. I'll put it that way.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I want to talk to you like offline about, if you have people you work with for making videos in town, because yeah.
Here, not yet, not just yet, because I'm kind of new to Denver. I mean, new. I've been here for 7 years. I mean,
I've been here 8, so
8. Really?
yeah.
All right, so same timeline. So, I haven't done an official music video, even though I've done sort of a live-esque music video, a couple of them. But yeah, happy to share some names and spread the wealth.
Yeah, totally. A few folks have joined us during your song. I want to say hello. Oh, Deanna, I'm going to mispronounce your last name, so I'm just going to say Diana. Hi, thanks for joining us. Sounds like
Diana's one of my longest friends and fans, going back to DC. She's now in Albuquerque, or I think Albuquerque, or near there at least.
Oh,
nice. So this is, she mentioned earlier on a post that this is one of the first live streams that was in her time zone. So that is definitely something we're celebrating. And pretty soon enough, I'll get down to Albuquerque and play in person. So.
Oh, that's great. New Mexico is beautiful. One of my good friends, Jana Pokop, is from New Mexico, as well as Eric McEwen. Have a few New Mexicans in my life, and now my aunt and uncle moved to Santa Fe, so lots of reasons to visit. Oh, my cousin Melanie Siegel. Hi. Thanks for joining us tonight. So glad to see you in the comments. And my friend Shep, did you meet Shep at Song School?
Yes.
Shep Rosenman. He's great.
The name sounds, yes, glasses, tall.
Yes, very tall fellow.
Yeah, L.A., right? L.A.?
Yep, that's
yes.
right. Yeah.
I do remember Shep. Hello.
Shep, welcome. Thanks for coming. All right. Yeah, we got a nice crowd. I love our little, I've developed, I feel like, an audience of regulars that come every time. I feel so lucky, so grateful to all of you for joining us month after month. It means so much to me. And I think we've created a really sweet little sense of community here in the comments. And so welcome to the new folks. Welcome to the experienced folks. I won't say old. And
season ticket holders. Put it
that way. That's great. Ooh, I should do something like that. I should. Yeah. Just gave me an idea. All right. Well, I guess it's my turn to play a tune. So
go right ahead.
I will do that. Well, I realized that I think next month, this is not a happy topic, but I think next month will be a year that the war in Ukraine has been happening. And I was sort of looking through my song list of what to play tonight, and I noticed I hadn't played this one in a really long time, and so I thought I'd play it for you this evening. It was written about the situation abroad, and it's called Sunflower Seeds. I am a daughter of this seaside Ukraine town. Played on these streets when I was small. My family's roots are buried deep beneath this ground. And if I don't leave, I'll join them all. Our sons and brothers march right past me on the street, waving flags of gold and blue. My prayers are no match for the dangers they will meet, but I'm not sure what else to do. My world is toppling around me as I speak. Houses in rubble on the sidewalk neath my feet. I've packed my bag and it breaks my heart to leave. I won't be a pawn for someone's Pyrrhic victory. So I gave the soldiers seeds. The air is gray and thick with ashes as I leave. The ghosts around me wish me well. I wrap my scarf around my face and try to breathe and mark their memories where they fell. My world is toppling around me as I speak. Houses in rubble on the sidewalk neath my feet. I've packed my bags and it breaks my heart to leave. I won't be a pawn in someone's Pyrrhic victory. So I gave the soldiers seeds. My neighbor's playing her piano one last time. Through broken glass her farewell flies. Each note a missile that she launches to the sky. Where walls may crumble, strength will rise. Our world is toppling around us as we speak. Houses in rubble on the sidewalk neath our feet. We've packed our bags and it breaks our heart to leave. We won't be a pawn in someone's Pyrrhic victory. So I gave the soldiers seeds. Oh, I gave the soldiers seeds. Sunflowers rise above the weeds.
Nice.
Thank you.
This is where I would ask the audience, please give a round of applause.
Oh, thank you. I'm just kind of relieved I made it through that one
Yeah.
without any major issues.
Yeah, it is hard to believe that it's been a year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone thought Ukraine would last that long.
Right.
And, I'm
You know,
not sure what else to say about it that I didn't say in the song, but
well, you know what's funny is, not funny, but what made me think about, I used to live in D.C. For about 6 years, and at the drop of a dime, the local venue and my favorite venue would just throw a fundraiser. Like, so, if there was a hurricane, if there was, a large storm, if there was, Puerto Rico and the earthquakes that they always have down there, we would, like, by that weekend, we would have a fundraiser. And having lived in Denver, I mean, I know there's philanthropic people here, for sure, but I didn't feel that urgency behind setting up benefit shows. And so after the invasion of Ukraine, I just kind of started looking around for different shows to play or to contribute. I just couldn't find anything, and finally, I was able to do a benefit concert, or at least donate a show to a Ukrainian organization that was sending supplies and things to troops and stuff like that. So, but it took a while. It took months, and so because of that, a friend of mine, Ian Mahan, who's another local singer-songwriter, we kind of started this a very informal but upstart of a cause-related showcase called loosely called Cause for Song, and then earlier this December we had our first show, which was at the Molecule Effect, and we did a toy drive, we did a cash a cash drive, and it turned out really well. But it's like the whole reason why I wanted to do that and was glad that Ian was so down with it is that, you know, there's no reason why us songwriters can't just come together and put together a showcase with a willing venue and invite people out. And it's frankly, it's one of the ways that songwriters get to see each other and play with each other, because so often we're playing our own shows that we don't have time to go to our friends' shows, you know.
That's so true.
So that's, you know, obviously the most recent thing about Ukraine made me think about that. So that's certainly had it in my mind that we're coming up here on a year. So.
Yeah, that's fantastic that you did that. And it looked like, I remember seeing the follow-up about your benefit show for the toy drive on social media, and it looked like it was a great success. So congratulations on that, and really amazing work that you're doing.
Well, thank you. It's like, I don't know what else to do. You know, this is what we know how to do, is play and tell our friends to come out and play. And so you might make
donations.
Yeah. You might as well just say, hey, let's see if we can do something good with it. You know.
Well, one idea that I'm having, just chit-chatting with you about this, is I'm sure you're aware that right now Denver is receiving this enormous influx of immigrants from South America in particular, or Central and South America in particular, Venezuela.
Right.
And Temple Emmanuel, as you know, I'm part of the Jewish community here, and Temple Emmanuel is the only place, I think that's correct. Someone can correct me if they know if I'm wrong. But I'm 99% sure that Temple Emmanuel is the only place in Denver that's collecting donations.
Really?
Yeah, and I mean I've signed up for some volunteer shifts coming up. They have, my friend is coordinating the effort, and there's like a huge mountain of donations in their social hall,
right?
Which has like really high ceilings, and it's like halfway up. It's crazy.
Well, that's good to know, because I would certainly love to help.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering, I mean, maybe right now they're not in need of more donations. It sounds like they're more in need of like labor to help sort the donations and stuff. But if the donations slow down, we could, I think, easily pull together a show and ask people to bring clothing items, or backpacks are another high need item.
Right.
And so. Or
is it, you know, if you're a member there and you know the folks who are organizing that, you know, maybe a show or a showcase can just promote a certain aspect of what they're doing. You know, maybe it's just a call for volunteers, you know, and the show, and having 6 or 7 songwriters scream out to their social networks that Temple needs volunteers for X amount of days. I mean, anything it is, but it's a part of it is just like having the idea and then going and asking the people, how can we help? Yeah,
that's great. It's giving me all kinds of awesome ideas tonight, René.
I'm full of them. I'm full of them, probably to my detriment. So.
Like, I'm full of something, but it's not. Well, let's highlight some nice, let's see. Oh, Larry, thank you, Larry. He always has the nicest things to say. My mom says, hard to believe it's been a year. And Melanie, hi. Oh, and it looks like we have someone new who joined us. Anu. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight. And thank you, Diana, for your compliment on that lyric. I appreciate that. Well, I'm going to turn the stage over to you for another song.
Thank you.
And I'll see you in about 3 to 4 minutes.
Sounds good. Let's see here. sing a song about appreciation. And you said hello with no quiver in your voice. And if there was, I couldn't tell. Although you sounded a bit too overjoyed, I heard no warning bell. When the weight becomes too heavy and you hit the time you fell, it don't matter how you stood, it don't mean you're looking good just because you wore it well. I should have hugged you a little harder, I should have walked you to your door. Now I'll have to walk much farther. If I'd only known the time before. If I'd only known the time before. The world outside, it grows angrier each day. It took too long for us to see. Although you did, the beast inside of you and me can't forget about tomorrow. And even if you've lost the midday sun, I'm going out to look for you. I just hope you're looking too. The cloud has shadowed everyone. I should have hugged you a little harder. I should have walked you to your door. Now I'll have to walk much farther. If I'd only known the time before. If I'd only known the time before, I would have tried to soak you up like water to a soul that's dry. And there's a truth that we're never told. When you feel what the future holds, silver turns to gold. I should have hugged you a little harder, and I should have walked you to your door. Now I'll have to walk much farther. If I'd only known the time before. Oh, I should have hugged you a little harder. I should have hugged you a little harder. And I should have hugged you a little harder. If I'd only known the time before. If I'd only known the time before.
Yay!
Thank
Beautiful.
you. Appreciate that.
I don't know if did you play that the night that we had our show together? Do you remember?
I probably did, but there's a decent chance that I didn't.
Yeah, I don't know if I had heard that. I really enjoyed that. It's a beautiful tune.
It was something that after the pandemic hit, it became a lot. The fact that when you saw your loved ones last became a thing. You were like, I remember when my last handshake was.
Wow.
Before the pandemic, and of course it was music related. I was out passing like flyers out for an upcoming gig that I had, and went to the venue and dropped off my flyers and shook the guy's hand, and a week later everything was shut down, and
Your show was canceled.
Yeah, show was canceled. The world went upside down. But for months I was like, that was my last handshake. And you don't think about those things when you're not forced to miss something the way that the pandemic did. So
True.
The song's a little bit about that.
Yeah, we went. I don't know if you have family here, but we went. Gosh, it was more than a year, maybe a year. It was more than a year. It might have been a year and a half before we saw my parents.
Same.
Which is just crazy. And it was like a year and 3 months before we saw my brother who lives in New Orleans. And my husband's parents moved to Aurora in like 2019. And so we were able to see them outside, and that was good.
Yeah.
And we were still like masking outside and stuff. That song sort of crystallizes that moment in time, but it also works, for other circumstances too.
Yeah. It's funny. One of those, you don't know how quickly you're going to use a song, but that song wasn't that old when I played it for our mayor, for the Denver mayor. So before the pandemic, they would do these cabinet in the community style town hall events. The mayor would go around to each district and do a town hall.
Wow.
But then with the pandemic, everything shut down, so they started doing them online. And when they did our district, I'm fairly active with our councilman here, just sticking my nose and stuff all over the place. And he knows I'm a songwriter and invited me to sort of open up the whole town hall thing with that song. And what was crazy about it was the day after Boulder.
The fires?
No, the shooting.
Oh, the shoot.
Yeah.
Boulder has had so many things.
Right. But it was, so immediately I had so many people saying, oh, that was wonderful. That was so meaningful. And it was a brand new song. So this is a reason for all songwriters, no matter how experienced or inexperienced you are, you got to put them out in the world because you don't know who needs them.
So true.
Yeah.
That is so true. I'm so glad you said that. And how cool that you got to do that. That must have been, I would have been like so nervous, but I bet it was so cool.
Yeah. Talk about trying to get the right sound set up and making sure that they were doing it for so many people.
Oh man. Did you even have a sound system there?
Well, I was doing it from home because it was all virtual.
Oh, right.
So,
I wasn't thinking.
So,
yeah,
but
course.
I at one point I couldn't tell whether or not anybody could hear me or not, which is always the hardest part because it's not like someone yells at you or anything like that because usually everybody else is muted and so. But it was good. I hope they do more of those again, and certainly would be happy to play for the mayor, no matter who he or she is.
Yeah. Well, apparently everyone in Denver is running now. So
if one of those people doesn't have any sort of music advancement on their platform, it's going to be hard for me to vote for.
Yeah. There you go. My mom saying it was a year and 3 months. She knows to the day. And I have to say hi too to my friend David Shulman. I'm sure he's tired of me saying this, but we're actually not related. Even though my brother's name is David Shulman. But he is a very, very supportive, wonderful friend I made virtually when I attended the Folk Alliance conference virtually in 2021. So that was cool. Thanks for joining us tonight, David. And Larry says, thanks for putting it out to the world tonight.
You're so welcome, Larry. Thanks for listening.
Well, speaking of advancing musical initiatives, I wanted to give you a chance to talk about the Denver Music Advancement Fund.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Well, it's hard to tell just from a show of hands. I don't know, people can show their hands if they want, if they live in Denver County or not. But if you are familiar with Denver Arts and Venues, who own Red Rocks, own, I think it's the CPAC, own McNichols, they are a tax collecting entity within the Denver city government that also redistributes a lot of those tax dollars to the public. Mm-hmm. One aspect of that is called the Denver Music Advancement Fund, which was created about 5 or 6 years ago. And just the idea that local music and a burgeoning local music scene can really support the economy, provide jobs, provide art, provide culture, and it's not like well, art always needs more propping up, but the pandemic, if it did one thing, it really showed us what a world looks like without live music, for one.
Yes.
Lots of other things as well, but I think that was the first time in history that no one had any live music except for what could they play, at home on their own. So in any case, the city of Denver is actively interested in promoting music and the music scene. And I luckily have been able to sit on the grant panel looking at grant applications for the past 4 or 5 years. And it's great to see the number of different organizations here in town that are putting your tax dollars to work, but they're doing it through teaching music lessons, providing different opportunities for musicians across Denver, and I hope to keep it going. I love to see the program grow. Different years means we have different budgetary line items and things like that, but it's a good opportunity. So the takeaway is that know that some portion of your tax dollars is going to music and musicians and supporting them in the Denver area. So
I love knowing that, and thank you for volunteering your time to help distribute those funds and make sure that good projects, smart projects are being funded. And I just think that's amazing.
I appreciate that. As I said, I like to stick my nose in things. So.
Renee, you're such a force for good in this world. I just, I'm like learning all these things about you, and I don't know. I'm just so glad that we've gotten to be friends.
I appreciate it. And I don't know how long it was that we knew each other online before we actually met in person. But as I mentioned to Barry at the Song Swap yesterday, I was like, it's like our first reunion. That's what a lot of my friendships have felt like because we connected online over the pandemic or even before that and didn't see each other for a long time. So
because we kind of entered each other's orbit through Instagram and like mutual songwriter friends on there, and met in person at Song School. But it's been great. It's fun to be able to do things together in a room again, even though we're, as I say this, as we're like in our separate houses in Denver. But
that's okay.
Cool. Well, since we're talking about funding things, I'll just remind the folks at home briefly that while we are so happy to be providing this music tonight for free, we would be honored with any and deeply grateful for any tips you feel so moved to send us. And there's information in the video description on both Facebook and YouTube about how to do that. But the next time Renee is playing a song and I have my hands free, I can put the links in the chat too. But we encourage tipping. We appreciate and love tipping. It gives you good karma. It helps us buy strings and other things.
We're singing for our supper.
Yeah. Well, I've already had my supper tonight, but it'll be tomorrow night's supper. Breakfast, my coffee.
Fourth meal.
Fourth meal. Are you a hobbit? Do you need a second lunch?
I was just making a Taco Bell reference.
Oh, that's right. It's Taco Bell. I was thinking hobbits because they do.
Do hobbits eat fourth meals?
They have a lot of meals. They have like 11. They call it 11sies.
Really?
It's like 11 in the morning. They have a meal, and then
I think it's funny where
they have second dinner or second breakfast. I don't know.
Well, I think it's funny where nerddom sometimes takes some people and doesn't take others, because I will nerd out about a lot of things, but anything Middle Ages and Hobbit and Tolkien and all that stuff, it just right over my head.
Oh man, yeah, I'm a big. I like The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. I'm sort of a huge nerd about that. But anyway,
you and my wife can get together and have a great night of watching movies.
I like her already. All right. Well, I'm gonna do another tune here, and despite the subject matter of this song, it is this is a song that I wrote for a very good friend of mine who passed away in the month of January. And I think this is 2 years. It was January 2021. Her name was Brooke Mylan, and she was one of the first friends that I made in Denver. We were in a mahjong group together, and she's just a wonderful person, someone who had a smile for everyone. She loved to gather her close friends together, and we miss her a lot. And this is a tune that I wrote for her. It's called No Sad Songs. Don't sing her a sad song. She wasn't sad. She wasn't sad. That girl was fearless as she was strong. Knew what she had. Knew what she had. She knew this was her time to move on. Sometimes life just does you wrong. She said she loved us, then flew along. So no sad songs. With dimpled smile and long blonde hair, she loved to laugh. She loved to laugh. I told her love will carry you where you're free at last. You're free at last. She said this was her time to move on. Sometimes life just does you wrong. She said she loved us, then flew along. So no sad songs. Oh, you couldn't tell her how to feel. She knew her heart, knew what was real. And like a star that's come and gone, her light still shines. Oh, it shines on. So no sad songs. Now we're the ones left here behind. What can we do? What can we do? But join each other and toast to life. She'd want us to. Oh, she'd want us to. We knew this was her time to move on. Sometimes life just does you wrong. She said she loved us, then flew along. So no sad song. Oh, no sad songs, no sad songs.
We need applause
Thank
buttons.
you. I know. I should get one of those, like, they make these boards where you can like record sounds and then push it, and it. I'm not that fancy. I'm pretty fancy, but I'm not that fancy.
I don't know if that would be considered fancy though, because that might turn into like a circus real quick.
Oh, like too sticky.
Yeah. Schmaltzy.
Schmaltzy's another great Yiddish word. Yeah. You got the shtick, you got the schmaltz.
Yeah.
You got the gespilkus in your connecticazoid. I don't think that's real. Gespilkus is real. I don't think connecticazoid is a real word, though.
It sounds made up, but it could be real.
Yeah. Gespilkus is, I think, a real Yiddish word. Someone maybe Shep might know, but my dad would know.
That was a really nice song.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Larry, and thank you, Renee. And my mom knew Brooke. My mom played mahjong with us when she would come visit. We would like plan a game around my mom being here because she's played for, well, I won't reveal how many years she's played mahjong for, but it's a long time.
She's a pro. You're pro.
She's a pro.
There you go.
And yeah, Brooke had the best smile, and she did a lot of important work too. I feel like I didn't introduce the song very well actually, because I didn't really say much about her, but she worked in she helped victims of domestic violence get out of those households, and she was just beloved by everyone that knew her. She was that kind of person. And
that's great.
She had a 4 or 5 year long battle with a very rare form of cancer. Yeah. So
did writing that song, this is something that maybe listeners kind of like to hear a little bit about, but was that song therapeutic for you? You like writing that?
Yeah, and so like a day or two after she passed, I sat down to play some music, and of course that was like all I was thinking about, and I started writing this like really sad sort of dirge of a song. And it wasn't flowing, it wasn't happening, whatever. And I thought, no, that's Brooke telling me, bitch, don't write me a sad song.
Yeah.
Like she wouldn't have enjoyed that. She liked sort of upbeat things. We saw the Dixie Chicks together. That's her kind of music. So the song kind of came out of that moment, and it was one of those, how some songs you write and they just come really fast. That's how this was. I think I wrote it in a matter of a couple of hours or something.
Well, that's when you're being the true channel.
Yes.
Yeah, for that creativity.
That is real.
Yeah.
That is a real thing.
It's funny because I think it takes a certain awareness to notice when it's happening. I usually don't, but when a song gets written really quickly, I'm like, oh, how'd that happen? Where did that come from? And then later on, you're like, oh, I must have just been right there, right place, right time.
Yeah, I love when that happens. It's like lightning striking, and it's rare. And I think part of being a songwriter is like knowing how to catch it. Yeah. Because people, I think before I started really writing songs on a regular basis, I would get ideas here and there and just kind of not do anything with it, not write it down, not sing it into my voice memos, and it would just disappear. And now I try to capture it as much as I can, even if I'm not in a place where my guitar is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because there's a really funny quote by, I think it was it Tom Waits maybe? He's driving down, he's like stuck in traffic in LA or something like that, and this great song idea comes to him in the middle of traffic, and this was pre cell phone, pre iPhone, so he didn't have anything to record it with. And he simply yells up at the muse, he's like, go away, I'm busy. I can't take that idea right now. Go bother like Leonard Bernstein or Cohen. They need it more than I do. And
the nerve,
right. But it's one of those things where this is why they tell you to show up every day at 9 a.m. to write, because you have to make yourself available to the muse, and then hopefully my other favorite quote is from Stephen Pressfield's War of Art, where he says, make sure the threshold is clean so the muse doesn't dirty her dress when she walks in.
Ooh,
yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah,
the muse visited him for that one.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a great line.
Yeah.
I've heard you're like the third person I've heard mention that book, so I think I have to read it.
It is so good. It's very biblical to me in the sense of, and even in the way that it sounds. It's very proclamation like. But you believe it when you hear it. It just has so many great nuggets and is more ethereal and holistic than like a habit style book. But it gives you, it's like a creative kick in the butt, and I go back and read it every once in a while just over again. And the audiobook's great too if you've got a long car drive. And
oh yeah,
I swear. I got so used to listening to the audiobook that one time I tried to pick it up and listen to it again, but I thought they changed readers, and I was really, really mad because I swear it was a different voice when I heard it the first time. But who knows? That's just me and my noticing really, really weird things. But.
That's great. Larry says, Willie, I'm assuming he means Willie Nelson, says there are songs in the air if you can just hear them.
Yep, that's right.
Good old Willie.
That is true.
Well, before I turn it over, I just want to say a thank you to folks who have started sending in some tips. We really appreciate that. And thank you so much for your generous support. And I will put those links also in the chat during this next song that René is going to play for us.
So, could have said this at the top of the live stream, but Carolyn has graciously invited me to a song circle of hers that I think she kind of created just recently. And yesterday we had our second meeting, and it was my first. I was out of town or something for the first one, but I was able to share this song because it was slightly tied to the theme that we were going off of. But it is a little upbeat, but at the same time, it's got some melancholy in there too. So, but again, it's about family and maybe what you want to pass on to them. It's called Heirloom Winnebago. We used to camp beneath the stars from the comfort of our car. We never had the means to fly. Can't see the country from the sky. Mama Todd had summers off. Dad grew his beard till it got soft. He always knew the way to go in our heirloom Winnebago. Heirloom Winnebago. Heirloom Winnebago. Winged hands and windows down, we found life beyond our little town. Foreign tongues and local fare, we grew up on double dares. We got all there was to give, seeing how other people live, educated on the go. In our heirloom Winnebago, I'm driving through the night, chasing moonlight, waking up to a world that looks so strange. It took some time for me to find out how some things never change, like you by my side. Forever we will ride high. Forever we will ride. When it's time to pass the torch, you'll see me waving from my front porch. And goodbyes are always hard, so don't forget to send a postcard. And one day you'll burn the map, but don't bother looking back. Keep your eyes upon the road, in your very own heirloom Winnebago. Heirloom Winnebago. Heirloom Winnebago. Heirloom Winnebago.
Yay! I think that's my favorite René Moffatt song.
Thank you.
It's so great. I love it's sentimental without, like we were talking about yesterday, it doesn't go over the ledge of being schmaltzy. And you talked about how that's a hard line to toe, and it can be.
It's a super hard line to toe. Yeah.
Oh, Eric is here. Eric McEwen.
Hey.
Hi, Eric. Thanks for watching. I know. Yeah, it's such a good song. The line about burning the map.
I think that might be a new motto for the new year. Or
Burn the map.
Maybe
That's
it's
your
a
next
bumper
album
sticker.
title.
I think so. It's
or bumper
up there.
sticker. Yeah,
bumper sticker. Yeah.
You could make T-shirts where you like have a map that's in flames and it says "Burn the map."
We could burn the map on stage. I mean, Hendrix uses.
You might want to do that at like an outdoor show where make sure there's no like, you're not going to start a brush fire.
Right.
Set off the smoke alarm indoors. But yeah, that's great.
I'll just tear it up instead.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, then you can have your like Sinead O'Connor moment.
Which are we far enough away from that moment for it to be funny now?
Oh, I mean,
for me,
I won't say what I'm thinking. Yeah, like for me, it totally was funny. I mean, not funny. I guess it wasn't funny when it happened, but I'm not Catholic, so it didn't
well,
like offend me deeply.
I grew up Catholic, and I don't remember them talking about it in church. So I guess it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Who knows?
It was more of an attention grab. Oh, God, how did I get on that? These conversations meander sometimes.
Yeah,
we burn the map of this conversation.
It's brain association, and then before you know it, you're talking about coffee mugs or something. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it helps that I have not the best filter to like. Sometimes just whatever pops in here comes out.
I think that is an admirable trait.
Oh, thanks. Well, maybe it's endearing. I don't know if it's admirable.
It is endearing, especially when on the surface, I think a lot of our political beliefs are kind of in the same waters. Yeah. And so it's refreshing to be around people when you could just be who you politically align with like all the time, because so often we're just like, well, I don't know how they think, and so
well, right. And we both grew up in very conservative places. Like you grew up didn't
Texas.
You grow up in West Texas?
Yeah, North Texas. Yeah,
North Texas.
Yep.
Were you from like no, Tyler's like east.
No, it's Wichita Falls.
Oh, you're Wichita Falls.
Yes,
okay. Well,
yes.
I lived in Houston for almost 15 years because I went to college at Rice and then went to law school at U of H, and but I grew up in Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah.
So, and when you grow up Jewish in a place like Mobile, that's a special experience.
Yeah. So we are the way we are for a reason.
Yeah. But no, it is always refreshing to know that you're like in safe company and you can just kind of say whatever's on your mind, and they're not going to be like, oh, I can't be friends with that person.
Right.
But oh, Larry,
funny.
I didn't know you were from Amarillo.
Hey, Amarillo. There you go.
There you go. Hello, Olga Moffatt. Oh, this must be a relative.
Mom.
Hi.
That's my mom. I'm surprised that we pulled her away from the Sheryl Crow tribute, I believe. Earlier
was that tonight? I competed.
Yes.
What a dumb move,
yes.
Carolyn.
Earlier today, Mom was texting my brother and I about Sheryl Crow and all the lineup, and I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to see Mom on the live stream.
Oh, man.
So thanks for tuning in, Mom.
Thank you for tuning in, Ms. Moffatt. We appreciate it. Yeah, that's so funny. What did Shep say? Oh, thank you, Shep. That's so kind. I'm glad that, we have won over a nice chunk of people. So despite Sheryl Crow being...
Right.
Oh, man. She's great. She's like a huge influence of mine.
Yeah.
Jonathan Bird is here. Do you know Jonathan is an excellent songwriter.
I don't know Jonathan. I don't think I knew Jonathan.
You would love his stuff. You have to go listen to him right after this.
I feel like I'm gonna have to pay Carolyn with something in return for all the friends that she's like introducing me to.
Oh,
just one big house show or house party or food or something.
That'd be so. I accept all forms of all of those forms. Not that, but you know what? Like the only thing I want is friendship and community, and we've got that.
That's why we're here. Thank you.
I'm all about, especially after 2 years. Like we were some of the most COVID cautious people around, and because my husband works in healthcare and a variety of reasons, but 2 years of not being in a room with anyone, and so
it still feels novel. It still feels novel to me.
Yeah, it does. Like being, yep, same. But it's just become even more important to me to build community, and I did the best I could online for that time, which was part of what this live stream was for.
Yeah. If you're still doing it, then you're doing something great.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah. Are you gonna sing us out?
Yeah, I guess it's the last. Wait, was that your third song or your fourth song?
That was my third song.
Okay. Well, if you're okay with running over a little bit, we can
Totally fine. Yeah.
Each play another song, and I'll commit to talk less.
I have to make the same commitment too, otherwise it doesn't work. It's mutual.
Yeah. Well, after this song, I do be thinking about if there's anything you want to promote coming up.
Oh, sure.
Be thinking about that.
Sure.
And I would love for you to share anything like that you have with our audience here.
Will do.
And Jonathan said, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool, Jonathan." He says he saw Sheryl Crow in Nashville in a little club, and holy moly, all that.
Yeah, that's
Pretty cool. She's amazing. Well, I guess I'll play a song, and it won't be Sheryl Crow, but because I can only be me, you guys. Oh, thanks, Larry. Larry says he enjoys the music and the conversation. So do I. That's why I do this. It's a lot of fun. Thanks to everyone who's joined us tonight. This has been a really fun show. And all of you folks participating in the comments really contribute to the vibe of this live stream. And that has meant so much to me. And it's a big part of why I have kept this going into 2023. So thanks to all of you out there. This tune is a song I wrote for my husband. And Renee and I were talking earlier about the things that people nerd out over. Well, my husband nerds out over Star Trek and Star Wars, and he's gotten me into it more than a little bit. I was going to say a little bit, but it's kind of a lot. And so this song kind of came out of all that. It's called Double Stars. And you can find it. You can find it on my debut album, which is called Grenadine and Kerosene. That's available. You can find it on my website, which is carolynshulman.com. It's on Bandcamp and it's on all the streaming services, but it's like extra super cool when folks actually like purchase music that they enjoy, because that helps the artist. But streaming's okay, but buying is, yeah. This is Double Stars. We are matched together, double stars, pulsing parallel lights in the dark. Out in space, it's not so hard to see. With you right next to me, where I wanna be. Set your worries down, my weary one. Cool your burning core until the dawn. And if your gravity's too much to hold, let me be your sun till the morning comes. And as we spin through space and time like on elliptical orbit lines, our love's the constant force that guides our courses through the sky. Steady now so we don't burn too fast. I need this light to last for another day. When my axis feels a little bent, when my energy is all but spent, when my wobble throws me off my track, veering towards the unknown black, your pull can guide me back. And as we spin through space and time on elliptical orbit lines, our love's the constant force that guides our courses through the sky. Steady now so we don't burn too fast. I need this light to last. On our own, the light we shed's too dim, and the cold could do us in. Other stars may beckon, burning bright, seeming warmer on dark nights, but our system's working out so far. And by chance or fate or physics, here we are. We are matched together, double stars, circling round inside each other's arms, rising, setting, lighting up the dark. It started with a spark and a dream inside our hearts. And as we spin through space and time on elliptical orbit lines, our love's the constant force that guides our courses through the sky. Steady now so we don't burn too fast. I need this light to last for another day. Thanks.
That was great.
Thank you.
I was gonna come back doing this.
Oh. Yes. Oh, and Spock. Spock passed away. The actor that played Spock passed away a few years ago. And he was Jewish, which I thought was cool. And some of this thing was actually based on, I'm trying to remember the specific story. It has something to do with like a Hebrew letter.
Yeah,
or something.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I wish I could remember the details, but I can't.
It almost looks like a hieroglyph.
A little, yeah. Maybe it's like an olive. It kind of looks like an olive. I don't know.
Did you ever listen to many of his spoken word albums from the 60s and 70s?
No, I didn't even know he did that.
Oh yeah, you have to look it up. It is great. I mean, everybody has to cash in at some point or the other, and he did some spoken word albums that were really interesting. I don't know if it was a whole album or just a handful of songs, but yeah, check it out.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah. Oh, my cousin Melanie says, I really love, oh, thanks. Yeah. My mom is clapping. And Randy let's see what Randy said. Your voices would work well in a duet, but yes, they would be a problem in a virtual space.
Virtual, yes. Although I will say they are developing some technologies to where if you're within like 30 minutes of each other, you can almost sing something as a duet.
That's cool.
Yeah, there was a whole article about it right during the pandemic because everybody was trying to get on streaming and do stuff, and it was developed, I think, by jazz artists because jazz artists need to be playing in time with each other much more than songwriters need to. True. And they found some way. I'll have to look for the article, but we're getting closer to being able to do that.
Well, I don't know if you're familiar with this folk trio called Nobody's Girl.
Sounds familiar.
They're based out of Austin. It's Rebecca Loby, Betty Sue, and Grace Pettis.
Yes.
And they did a bunch of live streams during the pandemic, and they did one where they did one together, like in separate spaces because we weren't in rooms together at that point, and they would trade off lines, and so that worked pretty well. Like they were all on screen at the same time. Yeah. And so that kind of works with the delay.
Yes,
you can make that work.
Well, and I guess if you were listening to a song that was centrally streamed, be it some sort of timestamp, you could kind of get away with that. But I think we're only I'm pretty sure the Asian countries have figured it out. They probably figured it out 5 or 6 years ago because they're so ahead of everything technology-wise. But it'll happen. I'm pretty sure of it.
Yeah, let's hope so. That'd be cool. Well, what do you have coming up that you want to tell people about?
Well, for those of you who are in the Denver area, as Carolyn mentioned, I hosted her at in a song swap at the weekly residency that I have at the Molecule Effect, which is a coffee shop that has 2 locations, one on Santa Fe Arts District and the other one in Wash Park at Logan and Alameda. I play there every Friday, have for about a little over a year. And on certain Fridays, I'll bring in fellow songwriters to come and do a good old song swap, just like this, for about 2 hours. It's a whole lot of fun, and gets different people to come into the coffee shop, and you get to hear different artists. So if you're in town, please look me up, and I'd love to see you out. Otherwise, I think Instagram right now is probably the most consistent social media platform out there in terms of doesn't seem like it's going to go around too fast. But so find me on Instagram.
I'll see if I can drop your handle.
Yeah, absolutely. And because I over the course of the next year, I'm going to have 5 to 6 singles coming out, which I'm really excited about. I did a decent amount of studio work over the past couple of years, and I'm going to release singles throughout the whole year in the hopes of leading up to full-length album after that. So that's a big one. So if you're interested in hearing some recorded music, I've got stuff on Spotify and all your streaming platforms, but I will be releasing new music, which I'm really excited about here in the new year. And last but not least, if you have any inkling to create art on your own, please do it. You're the only person who can create your own art, and the world needs it. So
yes, I just got chills when you said that.
Stop what you're doing, log off right now, and go start painting.
I just got chills when you said that. The email that I sent out, I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday night, the first email I sent out promoting this show. I talked about that concept because my great-great-great-grandfather, whose name was Samuel Ullman, settled in the American South in like before the Civil War, and he ended up late in his life, in his 70s, I think 70s or 80s, writing a poem called Youth that later became famous all the way across the ocean in Japan.
Wow.
After World War II, he died in the early 20s. And it became famous because General MacArthur saw it was published in a Reader's Digest somehow. And General MacArthur saw it and printed a copy of it and framed it behind his desk in Tokyo, nestled on his wall between portraits of Lincoln and like Washington.
Sure, that's
and then
incredible.
There was my great-great-great-grandfather's poem, and he never knew. He died before, but it became it became very popular with Japanese businessmen because this was after the war ended and Japan was recovering from World War II.
Right.
And the Japanese people that came through his office saw it and it resonated, and somebody translated it, did a really wonderful translation into Japanese, and it became a poem that school children in Japan memorized.
Holy cow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is an audience members, those of you who are listening, that is all the reason you need to just create your little piece of art on the earth, because you never know where it's going to go.
You never know how it's going to resonate with someone and make their life better and give them hope and inspiration to do their own thing, or to just keep going in this hard life,
It's up to us to create it, but after it's created and you put it out in the world, it's not yours anymore. Like, there's too many people who need it, and so that's a wonderful story. Have you written a song about that?
I haven't. That's
I should.
Well, there's a book about him.
Cool.
A historian at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, wrote a biography about him and about the sort of evolution of the journey of this poem. It's called Samuel Ullman and Youth.
That's amazing.
It's actually available on Amazon. I just looked it up. I mean, I have a copy at home, but like, that's mine. You can't have it. But
that's really cool.
And he was a really interesting figure, very progressive for his time in Birmingham, Alabama, advocating for progressive ideas that were not popular at the time.
Sure.
And so I just think that's such a cool sort of legacy, and it's a reminder to me to keep doing this creative work.
Yeah.
So I hope it's a reminder to all of you too, and and my cousin Melanie says, "Yay!" mentioning Samuel Ullman. He is my 3 greats grandfather, and he's Melanie's, I guess, great grandfather, I think. Sorry if I got the relation wrong. Anyway, one more request real quick, that if y'all want to tip, that is so appreciated. And thank you so much to the generous folks who have done so. It means a lot. And let's have Renee, you can have the last song, and then we'll come back up and say goodbye to everyone.
Okay. Thank you all so much for listening and sticking around. This song that I'll play is one of the singles that I'll be releasing over the course of the next year. It's called "If You Were Near," and I think it's a good song to sing amongst people who might be spread out far and wide. So it goes like this. And if you were near, and I would love to say words you would never. I'm gonna start that over again because I got the lyrics wrong. And if you were near, and I would call your name, so you would hear, and maybe do the same. And if you were close, and I would be inclined to do something grandiose, fill up your mind with thoughts you've never had before, and sentiments that open up the doors to feelings you might have to explore. And if you were by my side, and I would find it so damn hard for me to ever hide the heart I should guard, the heart I should guard, the heart I should guard. And if you were near, and I would love to say words you would never hear when you are far away. When you are far away, when you are far away, when you are far away. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, Carolyn, for having me. This has
Oh
been
my
great.
gosh. Thank you so much, Renee, for being my wonderful guest. This has been, more than an hour has flown by. Thanks to those of you who stuck with us and commented and sent us a little support. We really appreciate it. Oh, I want to ask folks if you're new to my music, I would love for you to visit my website at carolynshulman.com and sign up on my mailing list. I only email really when there's like something happening, like a live stream or a show in your area, and try not to clog up the inbox. But when you sign up, you'll get a free MP3 download of an unreleased song. It will eventually be released and produced. But right now, it's just an acoustic demo version of my song called Call My Heart Home that I wrote about being a parent. So I would love for you to do that, and we can keep in touch with one another that way. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Renee.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, y'all.
Take care.